Yo, what is cracking, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? How we doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. Your boy, me, JQ, Justin Quintero, we're doing very well today. Doing very well. Revenue, nice. What's cracking? How we doing? My bun. Look, do you guys like this hair tie? If you do, it's a hair strong man. Anyway, what's cracking? How we doing? I hope everybody's well. I hope you're doing good. The weather out here is getting hot, hot, hot. It's like 80 some degrees over here. Today, I'm posting a video right now, actually. I'm posting a video on step count. So I'm probably going to, so it's 18 minutes left for upload. I'm probably going to edit the thumbnail while we're on live and talking. But yeah, I'm uploading a video. I'm going to try to upload 3-4 videos this week. Try is a big word right now that I'm using. I'm going to try to do that. It's very important to me to try and do this. We're at 962 subscribers. That means that we only need 38 to get to 1,000. And once we get to 1,000, it's just going to be awesome. So yeah, I don't have on my whiteboard actually my goal for 1,000 subscribers, but I think once we get to 1,000, there's going to be a lot more opportunity with this channel, a lot more things to kind of do. So today I want to talk about dealing with POTS flare-ups. I think that this is something that a lot of people deal with. So I believe that it is an important topic to talk about. And I don't think that I've actually done this topic yet. I don't think, yeah, I don't believe that I have done that quite yet. Let me see. Let me go through my studio, my YouTube studio. I don't think that I've done that. Man, I've gone live almost every single day in May. Went live twice, a couple times. Yeah, all right. Well, I've gone live quite a bit. So dealing with flare-ups, I think that it's something, this is an interesting topic because everybody's flare-up looks different. For the most part, everybody has different reasons for having flare-ups. Everybody's flare-up like symptoms manifest differently too. And so I kind of want to talk about the strategies that I take in order with my clients in order to deal with their flare-ups. Because it seems to be that regardless of what the symptoms of flare-up are, you deal with it the same way. So examples of symptoms for flare-ups could be, what's it called? Brain fog. It could be extreme fatigue. It could be dizziness and like extreme presyncope, like a lot of episodes of presyncope. It could be a lot of episodes of heart palpitations because some people, have benign heart palpitations with this as well. Actually, I think the majority of you guys watching probably have that. And so I have kind of come up with a few strategies that work really well for me and my clients to deal with their flare-ups, and that's what I want to talk about. They're really simple, easily explainable, stuff like that. So I kind of want to do this a little bit different where I talk about this stuff and then we open it up for more discussion. So let me post in my training group really quick if you haven't joined yet. Link in description. But I am going to post right now that I am live. Okay, cool. You guys, if you are in here, give me a W in the chat. Give me a W in the chat. My thing doesn't always let me know how many people are actually in this. Give me a W in the chat. Like the video if you are here and you like these lives. I'm trying to do them every single day still. Jazand, it's been a minute. What's up? Something that I've been doing a little bit more recently is trying to finish this coffee before 11 a.m. so I actually get the effects from the caffeine. Because you guys, I will make my coffee at like 7:30 in the morning and I will be sipping it until about 11 most mornings. That's why I think I don't really get like the jitters and stuff and why caffeine. Okay, this is actually really good. I got the question yesterday about caffeine and if it affects me. And then I talked about dosing caffeine and titrating it up. One thing that if you are a coffee drinker, if you love coffee, I stopped drinking alcohol completely, right? And the thing that kind of replaced craft beer, because I was really into craft beer, was coffee and different blends of coffee and different ways of making it. I particularly like the pour over method of making coffee. I do espresso sometimes. I have a really nice DeLong espresso machine, whatever. But a good strategy for if you're just a person that likes the flavor of coffee, aside from drinking decaf is okay. The flavor of decaf is not always as bold and as there, but make your coffee, doctor it up so that you can drink it over a span of a few hours. Like I said, 7:30 to 11 is on average how long it takes me to do this. It's now 9:39. I started sipping this around 7:45. We're 2 hours in to the same 16-ounce cup of coffee. No, not 16. 22, 24 ounce. All right, dealing with flare-ups. We talked about how flare-ups can manifest for different people. It can be brain fog. It could be extreme fatigue. It could be, honestly, extreme muscle soreness, I've heard people say is part of their flare-ups. Inability to concentrate, pre-syncope, a lot of pre-syncope, more frequent heart palpitations, dizziness, stuff like that. How do you deal with these issues? How do you deal with flare-ups? And like I said before, to be honest with you guys, for me, I've come up with kind of a solution or a strategy that is very simple. It's very easy. Excuse me, guys. It seems to work for the majority of people that I work with one-on-one. And the strategy is, are you ready? Wake up, and first thing that you're going to do is you are going to have your water with about 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium immediately. Most people have their flare up like the night before it starts, and then it carries on into the other day. This is from what I've experienced, or it happens like as they wake up and they know that they're going to have a bad day. They know that they're going to have a flare up. So what I tell people to do, wake up 16 to 32, even 64 ounces of water, depending on what you can handle, and have about 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium along with other electrolytes. I always tell people to get Redmond's Relight or Element, have 1 to 2 servings of both of those. Drink it over the span of like 5 to 10 minutes, chill for a little bit, get up, and then I immediately want you to start moving around. Immediately, I want you to start moving around. I'm not exactly sure, so I'm not going to get into science. I'm not going to pretend with physiology, biology, and stuff like that as to why this works. But whenever I have had somebody that has had a bad flare-up, I tell them this strategy. I tell them to get up and start moving ASAP. Just get moving, get the blood flowing is like what I like to say. So get up and get as many steps as you can without causing too much fatigue, because you're already fatigued, you're already having a flare up, you're already in an episode. So get up and just start moving. After you do that, have your food, make sure that you eat, make sure that you chill out a little bit. And then I want you to do a type of formal cardio, but not upright. For most people, like for me, if I would have a flare up right now, God willing that I don't, right? I would probably be able to handle walking on a treadmill for 20 minutes. But for the majority of people, what I recommend is get your steps in first, eat, get some steps in, get the blood moving, move around, walk around the house, eat something, and then an hour, maybe 2 hours at most, go into a formal type of cardio, but I would prefer it be rowing or recumbent biking, something of that nature. If you're able to do that, if you have the accessibility at your house. If you don't, focus on getting more steps in or get on a treadmill. I don't know exactly why this works. I'm just telling you the strategies in which I have told people to do. The other thing that I have people do in order to deal with flare-ups is do more sodium that day and more frequent bouts. So one strategy that I've been a real fan of is doing the high dose in the morning of 1 to 2 grams or 1 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium, and then doing micro doses, basically, right, of 500 milligrams throughout the day until you get to about like 5,000 milligrams. Now, that's a little bit higher than I usually recommend for people, 5,000 milligrams, but I think that it's useful when you are having a flare-up. So I have them do about 500 milligrams every other hour or with a meal, something like that, until they get to 3K, 3,000 or 5K, 5,000 milligrams. And then that's where it ends. No extra water, just extra sodium and electrolytes. That's what I like to have people do. With that, also making sure that you're getting more steps in throughout the day, making sure that you're getting the blood flowing. For some reason, I make a correlation between your flare-up and blood flow and activity. For some reason. And I know a lot of you people that are going to watch this after, or maybe you're thinking right now, you're thinking, well, that sounds backwards. If I'm having a flare-up, shouldn't I rest? I genuinely think that aging and chronic illness and stuff is the effect of being complacent and the effect of being still, right? Man, I was sick 2 weeks ago. I still have all this phlegm. For me personally, I've had a lot of success telling people to get a little bit more active. And not active again in the formal sense. So making sure that you're taking more frequent breaks to actually get steps in, and also doing a formal type of cardio. And generally, the formal type of cardio, I want it to be very low intensity in nature and about 20 to 30 minutes. When I've had people do this, it seems like their flare-ups go away, at least for the most part. Some people have flare-ups and their flare-up is like a migraine. I still haven't figured that out yet, how to help with that. This strategy has worked for some people, but to be honest with you, if it's a migraine, it hasn't worked very well. So, and then the strategy after that is to avoid flare-ups and to figure out what causes your flare-ups. And I struggle with this sometimes. I struggle with if people are having flare-ups or if they're being a little bit more if we lie down for a longer time, we get blood pooling still, so I can for sure see how keeping the blood moving would help. Yeah, so just being more active. And it's kind of like counterintuitive in the sense that like it's not what you would think that you would need to do, because people when they have flare-ups, they're like, I'm having a flare-up. I must have done too much, or I did something to make this happen or whatever. But again, like just getting up and moving kind of for some reason just moves the problem. It just like moves it away. I don't know why, but yeah, exactly. There's a couple of supplements too that I like for this. And I'm hesitant to say this, and I think that everybody needs to do their own research and, don't take this as me telling you what to do. But a couple of supplements, especially for those people who one of their POTS symptoms is that they get cold hands and feet. One supplement that I find that has helped specifically for people who have those manifestations of those manifestations of symptoms, two supplements that have helped with people that I work with have been L-citrulline malate 2-to-1 and agmatine sulfate. These two supplements help with blood circulation specifically for in the bodybuilding world and in the sports performance world. They help with like blood volumization. They help with getting a pump. It really enhances blood flow. So these are two supplements that increase nitric oxide in the blood, and that helps kind of with that. Like if you've ever done a bunch of bicep curls and your arms feel like they're going to explode, That's what these two supplements help with, and that's due to the blood flow. It helps blood move throughout that area. And so I use them as performance supplements, but I've also had people experiment when they have POTS, no flare up or anything, start supplementing with L-citrulline or agmatine sulfate and even beta alanine. When they start supplementing with that, things get quite a bit better. So I'm putting you guys on a little bit of game that I don't really like share with anybody besides one-on-one clients. But these are 3 supplements that the 2 specifically are agmatine sulfate and L-citrulline 2-to-1. The third one, beta alanine, it's a lactate buffer, so it's not, it doesn't work in the same way that the other ones do. But yeah, these are supplements that I have recommended to people and that have helped with flare-ups too. I'm very hesitant to kind of put this out there and to say this because I feel like people are going to take it as a recommendation. Of course, talk to your doctor, do your own research, think about it, maybe try it on your own time. I'm not going to give you guys doses. You guys can look up the doses for this stuff. But yeah, those are supplements that tend to help with the people that I work with. Have you ever dealt with heat intolerance due to POTS? Bacon plays. Yep. Yes. I have been heat sensitive my entire life. I think I've told this a few times on this channel, but yeah, I was the kid that literally middle school, high school, I had one of those window ACs, one of those window AC units. And in the middle of winter, the dead of winter, I'd have that thing blasting. So yeah, I've dealt with heat intolerance for a very long time. I have a video on dealing with heat. And also, if you join the training group, link in description, you get 2 free weeks, $50 a month. After that, there's a document on how to build your heat tolerance and how to deal with heat. There's a document in that group. So yeah, takeaways so far, sodium, electrolytes in general, right? Try to get 1 to 2 grams upon waking along with a good enough amount of water. I would say anywhere between, to be honest with you, 16 is on the lower end if you're going to have that much sodium. So 32 to 64 ounces. And then after that, dosing your sodium and your electrolytes throughout the day in micro doses, 500 milligrams of sodium, and then, the trace other electrolytes that are in Element or Redmond salt, Redmond's Relight throughout the day, about 250 to 500 in microdoses, more frequent microdoses, getting activity right away after waking, and that is just in the form of steps. Eat your breakfast and then maybe 30 minutes to an hour and a half at most, then doing some sort of formal cardio, but some sort of prone cardio, whether it be rowing or recumbent bike, something like that for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then getting more steps in, making sure that you go on with your day as usual. Hydration, electrolytes, movement. Hydration, electrolytes, movement. I see how people think that would be backwards by saying that, I must have stressed out my body too much. I need to rest, but I don't think rest is the right thing to do. I've had so many people say, should I rest? Should I rest? Should I rest? And then when they do rest, when they're going through this, things just get worse and marginally worse. And it actually lasts for longer than it should, right? It lasts like the flare up could last a couple days. So adding that activity is important. Is what you mean called active rest? That's an interesting term. There's a lot of trainers that say take active rest days, but by definition, I've never agreed with just that terminology, because by definition, being active is not rest, right? So I think I get what you're saying, and yeah, it could be considered the active rest, but like by definition, activity is not resting. So lower intensity activity, I think, is more the thing to say. Like, make sure you're getting activity, but it's way lower intensity than your normal day, than your normal activity. That's what I would say. You can call it an active rest day if you want. I just, I just don't like the terminology, but if that's what people want to call it, totally fine. Like, yeah, I don't care. Nothing wrong with it. We got 2 minutes until the step count and POTS syndrome video is live. I took a 360 cam with me while running and made a video about step counts. So then I started to talk about the next thing to do is to keep track of, or to try to figure out what causes your flare-ups and to not do them anymore. And that's why when I'm coaching people or in the training group that we have, I make a very, it's a big point for me it's a big point for me to tell people, hey, make sure you are tracking your foods and lifestyle stressors and chemicals and, the face washes or soaps or anything that you may use that could cause more symptoms, that maybe causes you more symptoms, and tracking between 30 minutes to 2 hours after meals if you have symptoms, so that we can see what common trends are. Because I think oftentimes people don't really, let's say for example that cookies give me symptoms, right? And I normally have 2 cookies. I know that they're going to give me symptoms, but I'm okay with that because it's just 2 cookies and they don't really cause me any crazy amount of symptoms. They just give me some symptoms. But then one day I decide instead of 2 cookies, I'm going to have 7 cookies. And the next day I have a complete flare up. I feel like dog crap, all this stuff. If I never tracked it, I would just be like, I had cookies the day before. I always have cookies. I always have, cookies every single day. So, there was nothing different. But not really taking into consideration the fact that normally you have 2 cookies and this time you had 7, right? Oh, maybe it's the cookies that caused this flare up, especially the amount of cookies that I had. Do you guys get what I'm saying? The correlation there where it's like, I normally do this thing, but I had more that I normally do this thing that causes some symptoms, right? But then I had more of the thing that caused symptoms and now I'm having a complete flare up. So once you have this dialed in where you understand what lifestyle factors contribute to you having symptoms and having flare-ups or whatever, then you can really narrow it down and make sure that you know things to avoid or to stay away from or to avoid for a little bit of time and then reintroduce into your lifestyle. But a lot of people with POTS have no idea what triggers them. They have no idea what gives them symptoms. They have no idea what triggers flare-ups. They have no idea what gets them exhausted. They just don't know. And it's because they've never taken the time to actually track the data and to figure it out. That's why this is so important. And it's work. And people don't want to do the work. They just want the solution. But I tell everybody, I tell everybody, getting better takes work. It's not easy. What are ways of tracking you like? Well, if you're in our app, if you're in the app, you can use the food journal to take pictures of all your food and track all your food. And you can link MyFitnessPal to it even. And then you write notes in the food journal of the symptoms that you have between 30 minutes to 2 hours. And then you keep track that way. If you're not going to join the app, if you're not going to join, any of that, what I would do is I would have MyFitnessPal. I would track everything that you're eating. I would take note of everything that you're eating. And then I would do the same thing. I would just track symptoms. I would put meal number 1, 30 minutes to 2 hours into having meal number 1, I had no symptoms. Meal number 2, 30 minutes to 2 hours, I had heart palpitations. And then try to repeat for the rest of the week. Those are the ways that I like to track. I mean, other things, obviously, you're not going to track your steps unless you have an activity tracker, right? Or unless you have an iPhone. I don't know if Android tracks your steps while just being in your pocket, but I like I like tracking that. I like to track sleep too, but yeah. I like when people keep track of everything in whatever capacity is the most sustainable for them to keep track of stuff. I've had people that literally take a notebook with everywhere that they go and a pen, and they write down everything, and then they like literally time on their watch, 30 minutes, 2 hours, have I had any symptoms, stuff like that. It's all dependent on your strategy, but the things that I think people do need to keep track of are the lifestyle stuff, like eating, symptoms after eating. Maybe there's a day where they clean their house and they're using a bunch of chemicals and they have a flare up after that. Then they track what chemicals they were using, and then they deduce from there. And then, I have people track, what sometimes, right? Soaps and shampoos and stuff that they use, and sometimes they get symptoms after that. So it's like, okay, maybe it's the soaps and shampoos. Maybe you have to get a toxin-free, type of soap or shampoo, like a more natural type of thing, or all that stuff. Everything. I think that data is so important. Like, and people just don't want to gather the data because it takes a lot of work, dude. But a lot of this only has to be done for anywhere from a week to 4 weeks. It's such a small stint of time. Just keep track of everything, literally everything. For about a week or 4 weeks, you can narrow down so much about your lifestyle in that little amount of time. Okay. I'm about to post this video, y'all. Wow. Justin's actually posting a video again. How crazy is that? I cannot believe it, my friend. Cannot believe it. How step counts affects POTS syndrome. Effects. Or should I put, you guys, I'm going to get your opinion. Should I make the title of the video The Secret to POTS Recovery, or The Secret to Getting Better with POTS, something like that, and then put on the thumbnail step counts? Should I do that? Because I'm starting to really think that step counts are like one of the best strategies to getting better. Or is that like too is that like, I don't know, or is that too, clickbaity? I don't know. Are you manually posting? Are you manually posting? Not planned. No, I'm posting right now on purpose. I filmed a video on step count, and it was like of me running and stuff, and then I talk over steps and why I think they're so important. You mean clickbait? Yeah, yeah. Is that too clickbaity? Part of this game is clickbait, right? Like the last 2 videos that I've had haven't done well, but I didn't clickbait at all. 0% clickbaited. And so like I need to play the game. I'm 38 subscribers away. 38 subscribers away from 1,000. So I need to get there. I need to get there. This has become a game now. A little too much for my taste, but do you? Yeah, I think it might be a little bit too much. Go for it. Check if such title already exists first. That's probably true. Try planning your TNT and intro together. What's TNT? I don't know what TNT is. Wow. Title and thumbnail, yeah. And then the first 30 seconds you need to show viewers it wasn't clickbait. Jeez. Super. I should have known what TNT was. Well, video's already fully edited. It's already posted. Now I just need to come up with the thumbnail. Sometimes genuinely, like, I don't really, man, I don't like. You also do know that YouTube lets you choose the time and date and will post it for you at that time, right? I do know that. My only issue with that is that dude, my days are so crazy that, like, I'm not only am I doing this, but I also have an in-person business and I train myself, you know, like I work out anywhere between an hour to 2 hours a day. So it's like I literally just shoot video. Like I don't have a content schedule in terms of posting videos, which is bad. It's not good. But I don't have really the ability to have a content schedule either, because I have to just kind of shoot videos when I'm able to shoot videos type thing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like I just have to shoot videos when I have the ability to, and then I have to edit them when I have the ability to. So yeah, it's a bummer. It's not, well, you know, that sounds pretty, that sounds like a big excuse. That sounds like an excuse, and it kind of is. Because lately I've been trying to get up earlier so I can do edits and do stuff that I need to do. But yeah, I saw your video on heart rate and it was surprising how low your heart rate was. Whenever I exercise, my heart rate is very fast and I can get it up to 200 within a minute of intense exercise. Bacon's Place. So I don't know if you're new here or if you're not, but yeah. What I say to people is, like, I was diagnosed with POTS like between 6 and 7 years ago, a long time ago. So I've done a lot of conditioning, a lot of work on this. This wasn't an overnight thing. My heart rate definitely wasn't like this when I first started, or when I first got diagnosed with POTS or anything like that. It's been the culmination of like years and time and training, right? And it's not surprising that the heart rate is lower when you make these adaptations, because I've gotten clients to have similar style heart rates in 2 months of reconditioning and stuff. So it's like, I know surface level, and at first it seems like, what the heck? This is crazy. This person, like, my heart rate is like 200 plus or whatever. But if you do the right things, if you adjust your lifestyle, if you come up with an exercise program, or if you find an exercise program that can actually help you and recondition you, it's not all that crazy. Yes, I do that too when life gets a little in the way. I think it should also still be fun. Yeah, for sure. That's the other thing, is like, sometimes I find myself just trying to pull topics, like even with live, right? The reason why I go live every single day is because I'm trying to flex the muscle. This actually gets me better at podcasting and better at just speaking to people in general, is getting on here and trying to talk for about an hour to an hour and a half a day. So it's a skill that I want to keep developing. But yeah, I find myself just kind of reaching sometimes for topics and for videos, for content. And so I've gone back and forth on the posting videos thing, and if I should just literally just make like lifestyle vlogs and show people that somebody with POTS is doing normal stuff. But the thing is that people ask so many of the same questions that I've made videos on already. Like I have 2 heart rate videos now. I have a couple of training videos with POTS already. I think I have a couple diet videos, but I'm going to go over diet again in a video. So it's like recycling content, and that's not very fun. Like recycling content is not fun. Doing the same stuff is not, you know, the same, like doing the same content over and over and over again is not fun, So yeah, you are fully allowed to have as a title, let's chat, or I have POTS, let's chat. Yeah. And that's kind of what some of these are. But like today I did want to go over dealing with POTS flare-ups. And a lot of times I do have, when I like, actually it's not a lot of times, but most times when I'm going live, I do have an idea that I want to talk about. The thing is that these topics with POTS, and maybe this is like a me thing, but these topics are like so easy to talk about within a 10-minute time window, So then it becomes a chat between all of us. And I like that. I think that I will start doing that though. Like I have POTS, let's chat. That's actually a pretty good live recommendation. Ideally, I become the top streamer in the POTS community, and ideally I become the top streamer in the POTS community, and I become a Destiny type. But is the purpose of your YouTube now to get clients if you don't find that much joy in posting the same stuff anymore? No. That's not I'm not trying to say that I don't enjoy posting stuff. That's not what it is. And the purpose of my YouTube is definitely not just to find clients. It's to help people and help people for free. This is like a good way that I think that I can help people for free. That's why I do it every single day. I wouldn't do this every day if I didn't enjoy it, straight up. I just wouldn't do it every day. No, it's not just to get clients. Of course, I want to get more clients and I want to get people in the training group. Like I'm not going to be shy about that. Absolutely. I want that, but that's not the main driver. The main driver is that this is a good way for me to help people for free by answering questions, and by coming on and answering, and doing lives for an hour to an hour and a half. I don't get paid to do this. And certainly this doesn't funnel clients to me every single time that I go live. Certainly it doesn't do that. The point is to help people for free, because I do want to help as many people as possible. And so it's not that I don't enjoy posting content. It's that I don't enjoy posting the same thing over and over and over again. You get what I'm saying? Trevor does everything. Hi, what's up, dude? So the only thing that I'm trying to figure out is what else to post. Like, I wonder if people would enjoy so like I said before, I wonder if people would enjoy lifestyle vlogs of somebody with POTS. You know what I mean? Just like, this is what I'm doing to a day-to-day basis. And the reason why I wonder that is because so many people with POTS think it's crazy when other people that have POTS, like Jazan, you went to a wedding, and how many people probably thought, holy crap, she went to a wedding? If you would have vlogged that would show other people with POTS, and that would give them hope. Like, hey, I went and did something that other people with POTS don't really do. And that's kind of what I'm wondering. Would lifestyle vlogs help in that sense? Would it help people with POTS understand and realize like, hey, there's a way out, and look, I'm doing normal things. That's what I mean. And so, yeah, no, I'm not trying to say that I don't enjoy it. I do. Like I said, I wouldn't be on live every day if I didn't enjoy it. I don't believe in wasting any time in your life doing things that you don't enjoy. That's facts. That's straight up. I think you only live one life, and to waste it, and to waste any of that time, like you only live one life. So if you waste any of that time, it's like, why did you do that? So no, I'm fully into this. I fully love doing this. I like lifestyle videos full of tips. I did vlog it, but the footage felt like I was wasting people's time getting to the tips. So I refilmed it. I don't think that. I think, well, I haven't seen the video, but it's my opinion that if there's like, there is an appetite for every type of content, right? Like I have a buddy who just like posts him like buying random stuff off of like Craigslist or whatever. Just, I don't know if you know what Craigslist is, but it's basically a place where in the States people put stuff up for sale that might be broken or that they don't use anymore. So he buys like old motorcycles and he like fixes them up. He has a channel where he does that, and he just started it. He only has like, I think 15 subscribers, and his first video got like 500 views. It's awesome. But he's really good at storytelling. So I think that there's an appetite for everything. I mean, people literally sit and watch other people eat for like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? There's an appetite for everything. So I think it comes down to the creator. Like, what do you enjoy? What do you think about your content? And sometimes I think that we can be really, like hyper critical of the stuff that we're putting out, and definitely me for sure. I'm very hypercritical of the stuff that I do. Sometimes I'll like get off live and I'll be like, well, that was just a freaking waste of people's time. Like I went on and I talked for 15 minutes about something that, the topic I went on to live for about an hour, and I only talked for 10 to 15 minutes to people about, what the actual topic was. And I'm like, oh gosh, that was stupid. Like I wasted everyone's time. But then it's like, it's easy to think that way, but then to put into perspective, like, no, some people just literally want to go interact with somebody on the internet. You know what I mean? Like some people just want me to pop up on the screen, or any streamer or any YouTube person. Some people just want you to go on and so that they can communicate. That's it. That's the highlight of some people's day. And I think for a lot of POTS people, that's kind of what, this content is like, it's just a way for them to relate and to feel. And like I always say, I don't want to be relatable, but it's a way for people to like just kind of like get lost for a little bit and get rid of their worries. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make the videos I needed at my worst. That's a really, or you are right, but at my worst, I couldn't watch things for long. So I do try to give my best tips at the start and to keep it productive. I think that's good. I think though, and I don't know, maybe you're not, but I think maybe don't be so hard on yourself about like always needing to put like a ton of value into the content, because sometimes that's not even what people are looking for. You know what I mean? I think you wanting to provide that is super admirable and honorable, but sometimes the value that you provide people this is true in sales too. And this is something that I learned very, very early on in sales and stuff. Sometimes the value that you're adding to people is just an ear, like an open ear, or some sort of, in terms of YouTube, just some sort of entertainment. Sometimes that's just the value that you're adding. And that goes a really long way. I'm trying to make the videos I needed at my worst. I think that that's great. Yeah, I think that's amazing. You should do that. But I also think, like, don't get upset or don't be too hypercritical on yourself about, just making content that, that isn't super valuable in terms of tips and stuff. There's only, at some point, right? There's only so many tips that you can give. There's only, and I've thought about this, like the lifespan of a POTS channel. I've thought about this, right? And I think part of the reason why some other POTS creators do so well and I struggle, right, analysis or paralysis by analysis, is because other POTS people and chronic illness people are willing to put themselves out there in terms of, like, these are the symptoms that I'm feeling. Woe is me. Feel bad for me. Like that one girl who posts like thumbnails of her being bloated. This isn't normal. And then everything is just like in negativity. I think that that's why some of those channels do better in terms of like numbers and stuff. Like that girl has 100K subscribers. Her videos do dog crap numbers, like 400, 200 views or whatever. But I think that that's why some of them do better and their lifespan is a little bit longer, because they're willing to go out and put like more negative, what I would consider negative content out there, right? And so I've kind of like gone over the thought experiment of like, most of my content is the same as you, right? Like where I'm trying to put out actionable, usable advice, things that I wish that I knew when I was going through it at my worst. So I try to put that stuff out there, but there's only so much that you can say and do, right? The same reason why like fitness YouTube has died, and a lot of the fitness YouTubers have become lifestyle vloggers that also do fitness, or that fitness is a big portion of their stuff, is because you can only regurgitate the same information so many times. You can only say, I can only talk about my heart rate and POTS so many times before the content is just washed up and it's not good anymore, So I've thought about lifespan when it comes to that. And really, I think that the next step in the ever evolving steps are lifestyle. Like you can be the dude with POTS that's just showing people like, hey, I do CrossFit. Hey, I'm getting ready for a competition, in November, a High Rocks competition. Hey, I have POTS. Hey, I went to the mall today and I'm meal prepping and stuff, and I also have POTS. You know what I mean? Like that. Instead of just making everything like tips and tricks for dealing with flare-ups, tips and tricks for dealing with heat intolerance, stuff like that, where I already have those videos. And if you want those videos, they're on the channel. Same thing for you, right? It's like, like you're only going to be able to give all the tips that you wanted for yourself so many times before like you can't figure out a new way to twist it, and then from there you have to kind of think about stuff, how to pivot. Yeah, I make my POTS tips a podcast because when I've said all I know, then it will be a collection and then I will probably change or move on. Yeah, totally. And that's normal. That's normal in any business too, by the way. Really, I think people struggle with YouTube mostly because like they don't really view it as a business, and like not in terms of like how many clients can I funnel, how much money can I make out of this, but looking at it as a business in terms of like, how do I pivot? How do I progress? How do I evolve? Things like that. Like I think that a lot of creators kind of screw the pooch when they just do the same thing over and 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 over again, for years. So, yeah, I think where I'm going to go with this stuff next, again, like I said, is I've done all the tips and tricks that I can think of. I've gone over supplements. I've gone over nutrition. I'm going to do one more nutrition video. I might do days of eating, like going forward, like maybe one a week or something like that. I've gone over heat intolerance one time. I've gone over, I don't think I've actually done a hydration video. So I'll still do tip videos, but for the most part, I think I'm just basically going to show my, I think I'm basically just going to show my lifestyle and then mention that I have POTS, and I'm getting ready right now. I'm getting ready for an event called a High Rocks. I'm getting ready for an event called High Rocks in November. I'm prepping for that. So I think I'm going to make a bunch of content around that. And then I'll just add in, I have POTS. Like I'm getting ready for a fitness competition and I'm chronically ill and I have a chronic illness. You know what I mean? But not making chronic illness like the crux of everything, right? And it'll be more motivational type of content, more motivational type of videos, that type of thing. Because also I don't want there to be a heavy focus on the fact that I have POTS. I don't identify with POTS. I don't identify as somebody that has POTS. I am me. I am Justin. I am an athlete. I am a business owner. I am a father. I am a boyfriend. I just happen to have a chronic illness. That type of thing. Don Blade, ebook. Yeah, I've been thinking about the ebook thing. My thing is with the ebook thing, I think that's a good idea. I think it's a really good idea. My thing with the ebook, old school but such a good tool. Yeah, it is a great tool. It's a great tool because a lot of people still buy ebooks. A lot of people still download ebooks, which is so super strange to me. That's really strange. The thing is with the ebook is that I'm so cut and dry, straight to the point. I wonder if people would get value out, because I could literally take the documents from our training group from my app and then doctor them up a little bit, have somebody proofread them and stuff, add a little bit more, and it would be an ebook probably but it would only be like 20 pages. And I wonder if, if that would go well. I wonder if that would go over well. Younger folks love ebook $19.99. Sorry, older folks. Yeah, I think that you're right. I've also thought about making an ebook, but that's so much work. I did 100 A4 pages, one for irritable bowel syndrome. It felt much less fun to do than videos. Yeah, I could see that. And again, like I said, if I would make an ebook, it'd probably be like 20, 25 pages because I'm just so cut and dry. Like, here's how you do things. I don't want to doctor things up. I don't want to make it uninteresting. And Jazan, did you sell the ebook? Also, if I put an ebook up for sale, it'd be like $10. It wouldn't be anything crazy. It'd be like $10. Yeah, I guess, Jazan, did you sell your ebook? No, I put it on a website for free because I was upset there was no info out there, no info anywhere about what to do about it. How many downloads did you get? Did you get a lot of downloads? Is that something that you've tracked? You got 3K downloads in the first 2 years? What? What website? How did you promote it? What website did you get? Stop paying for the website, so I don't know now. What? Ooh, did you guys hear that? I promoted it on the Dutch Facebook group and on my YouTube. Wow. You could have made a lot of money there. Could have made a ton of money. That's crazy. We have a lot of IBS people desperate for any kind of help here. In Deutschland, in the Netherlands. Why is there so many IBS people in the Netherlands? That's interesting. Why does so many people have IBS? What was your irritable bowel? Seems to be an issue for people with POTS too. What was like your IBS is a popular diagnosis. I don't know what you have diagnosed. Yeah, facts. Actually, facts. That's true. So, what was like your best advice to people with IBS? Like, give me one really good thing. I have thought quite a bit that I have IBS. What the heck, dude? Where did that just shoot out to? Oof, that is so individual. Definitely look at your trigger foods, limit stress, and keep trying things until you feel it's livable. I have a ginormous list of things you can try or look at. Yeah, I feel like the best that I have dealt with that has been going on carnivore. For me, because I tend to think that, yeah, diet is like the root cause of most things. Diet and nutrient deficiency. I look at those things as the root cause of most things. And yeah, so yeah, I would agree with you. It's very individual, and to avoid trigger foods. I'm getting a stand-up type of situation for my lives. My schedule is about to severely change. By the way, I'm going to be going live in the afternoons more times than not now. Around probably, I'm not really sure when, probably around like 1 or 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I should have actually put this in the beginning of the live so that people who watch it after can hear. But yeah, so my schedule is about to change. Summer is happening, and a bunch of my athletes that were just in season with their sports, they're like done with their sport, they're done with their season, so they're coming back for summer. But because it's summer, that means that my hours are changing so much. They're changing quite a bit. So now I'm going to be dealing with my athletes between like 8 to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then I'll be working out immediately after that, and then I'm coming home to work on all this stuff. So to do podcast stuff, to do live, to work on the training group, the training app, to work on all the other projects. So I'm getting a stand-up. Like I have a treadmill in my office in here. So I'm getting an attachment that goes on the treadmill that makes it stand up. So the lives that I go on with you guys, they're going to be done a lot of times from a treadmill now. So I might be out of breath and like talking because I can't just sit here all day getting no steps in and be totally inactive. So I need to find a way to get active, and that's how I'm going to help myself. I think I'm going to work on this ebook idea. I think the ebook thing is a very easy project. Easy project designed. You got 3,000 downloads in however long. I mean, that's freaking crazy. 3,000 downloads. Imagine if you put that thing up for $20 for $19.99. Let's just do that. Let's do the math there. Jazan, if you would have put your IBS ebook up, 3,000 downloads times $19.99, you would have made $59,000, 970. Wait, $59,970 if you would have put your ebook up for that. Yeah, but not 3,000 people would have bought that. Well, you can't go into it with that mentality. I mean, even if out of 3,000 people, I bet you 1,000 people would have bought it. And at $19.99, you would have made about 20 G's, 20 grand. Shoot. I'll take 20 grand for a little bit of work. Out of 3,000, I think that 1,000 people at least would have purchased that, And if 1,000 people would have purchased that, phew. Yeah, I mean, imagine you had like an ebook that you put up, and then you had like a training group or whatever, kind of like how we have, and then you put a QR code, and then people with that QR code got into your program or whatever. Jeez. Sorry, I like to think about business side of things. I'm trying to like rework this. It was 3 months of every day working on it when my internship didn't go through. Haha, wasn't easy or quick. No, I know that. I'm not saying, not saying that you didn't put work in at all. That's why I think you should have got paid for it. I'm trying to think of how to word this. I don't want to put the secret cure to POTS syndrome. The secret to... The secret to POTS syndrome. We're just going to do that. That's what the title is going to be. 3 months of everyday working on it. No, that's right. Jazan, by the way, what do you do for work? Do you work, or what did you go to school for? By the way, a designer got a hold of me, guys. A new one. The one that I thought was going to work out, the one who is an old buddy of mine, has not responded. It's just design and people in the arts are just so difficult, bro. So difficult. And so yeah, actually one of you guys, one of my subscribers reached out and sent me some mock-ups and stuff of what he's done. And so yeah, I have hope this time. Nothing now. I completed the 3-year fitness education and then did 4 years of physio school. Did you graduate as a physio? Are you a PT? Are you a physical therapist? In progress, they are a pain in the arse to nail down. Yeah, they freaking are, dude. Yes, they are. It blows. I just don't like, I don't know. I always think, like, do you not want to make money? I don't know. Pushing myself super hard to stand all day for the internship, and it made my ME, CFS, and POTS super bad. No, I'm not. Got it. In the Netherlands, do you have to go through an internship in order to complete the degree as a physio? Like here, you have to do, I think it's 100 hours of, well, this is what it was when I was in PT school. You have to do like 100 hours of shadowing another physical therapist. You have to do a year? Okay. Yeah. I think that's kind of whack. I don't know. I think that's kind of whack. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Now my mind is like racing about this ebook thing. We have to eventually be a full-on PT with clients, but supervised. Yeah, that's how it is here too. That's how it is here too. My buddy owns a PT clinic. He has a private PT practice, and before he hired this guy, because this dude had to graduate first, he had to basically put him on as staff, and then he had to get a bunch of hours of putting his hands on people and working with people before he could even get paid, you know? So he didn't get paid. He basically did a free internship, but actual work. And then, graduated. And yeah. Did I complete it? No, I went to school to be a physical therapist, did kinesiology, did all that. And then I started to fall more in love with like more science, right? Like more sciencey stuff. So I didn't really like, physical therapy is a weird one to me because it's like, I'm not going to get in the weeds of that. So I switched over to neuroscience, and I did the neuroscience program for a while, and I eventually had to drop out because I had to drop out of school because I needed to make money. I come from a poor background. Like my family did not have any money growing up, and I didn't have anybody that was helping me pay for school. I had to pay for school, and I didn't even want to be in school in the first place. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur or do something in the arts like music or content creation, stuff like that. So I dropped out and pursued some other stuff, eventually started a business. And yeah, that's been basically the journey. I plan on maybe someday going back to school just to do it. Like when I can pay out of pocket and go. I basically plan to become a millionaire first. I want to be in a really, really good financial position where I can actually fully focus on school instead of like having to focus on, working and stuff and going to school. I plan on maybe going to school someday just so I can get that piece of paper. Yeah, maybe. I'm not completely sure yet. I'm literally just a few credits away from having a degree in, oh, frick. Just ripped a bunch of skin off. Dang it. I'm a few credits away from having a degree in philosophy. A part of my part of the neuroscience program was that you had to take some philosophy credits, and I really have enjoyed philosophy and religious studies and stuff like that for a very long time. And so I decided to keep taking more and more classes in philosophy. And so, yeah, I'm almost there with philosophy, but that's not what I want. Next to stability and freedom to study, do you want anything else from having money? Do I want anything from having money? It's a good question. Let me think about that. Money is not very important to me. So bear with me while I say this. Money is not very important to me. Because I'm not a flashy person. I make good money. I've been making good money for a while. But I'm not a flashy person. I don't particularly enjoy things. I'm not a bougie person. I don't buy anything for myself. The only thing that I want right now is a Tesla. And the Tesla is more a symbol of a place in my life that I want to be. Like the Tesla that I want is a lot of money. And so it's more symbolic of like a place that I want to be in financially. So it doesn't actually mean that I would buy the Tesla when I'm able to afford it. It's just a symbol of where I want to be in life. The same thing as in buying a Rolex. I don't want a Rolex particularly for the sake of having a Rolex and being flashy. It just symbolizes a position in life. And so money is not particularly important to me. What's important to me is having freedom and being able to live life on your own terms at all times. Never having to say no to your kids. Never having to say, if somebody in my family is struggling or whatever, never being able to be like, I can't help, or having the ability to help, paying off my mom's mortgage or my dad's car or whatever. Those are the things that are important to me. The money portion is not very important because again, all the clothes that I wear for the most part, these shorts, like I bought this tank top, I bought this headband, but the shorts that I'm wearing, the majority of shorts that I have were all free. They were all given to me because of like work that I've done, right? A lot of the shirts that I have were all free. So basically all clothes that I wear are free. They're all free clothes. And I could afford to go get myself some clothes. It's not like I'm struggling like that where I can't like go get clothes. I could afford it. But the thing is that my outward presentation, and this is like kind of backwards to, being a business person and to like status, acquiring status and stuff like that. But my outward presentation to people doesn't really matter to me. And I know sometimes that's counterintuitive because like being presentable gets you through certain doors and things of that nature. But I would rather people let me into their life based on merit, ethics, morals, and stuff like that. And the conversation that we have, the way I present myself as a human being, rather than the way I present myself with what attire I'm wearing or the goods that I have and things of that nature. So money isn't particularly important to me. It's what comes from the money that is important to me, right? So it's not like, and the other thing is like, I'm not on this constant pursuit of trying to make as much money as possible. Genuinely, and what I've noticed, and this is the best advice that I can give to any of you guys that are, what does matter to you is what I'm getting at. Check this out. I'm about to tell you. Genuinely, what the best advice I can give to anybody that watches this, if you're trying to start a business or if you're trying to do something outside of the norm, like the 9-to-5, is to not focus on the money, but to focus on what matters, right? So what in particular do you care about? And when you do the thing that you care about, the thing that you're passionate about, and the thing that like means something to you deep in your heart, The money will come. I know that's so cliche and people say that all the time, but it's true. I've experienced it firsthand. So what matters to me? What do I care about? I care about helping people. Genuinely, I care about helping people. How I built a successful business in the first place was that I care about kids. And I realized that I'm very good at helping kids and helping mentor kids and keeping them out of trouble via my life experiences, because I've gone through a lot of things. I've been in trouble with the law a bunch. I was in courtrooms, week in and week out as a kid. I was a troublemaker, and so I have a good ability at connecting with kids and being able to kind of like keep them out of trouble and stuff. And literally, parents bring their kids to me because of that. And so I've been able to like create a successful business based off of that and being relatable with kids and helping at the same time, helping them get scholarships to go to school. And that's what I really care about. That's what matters to me, is helping people. And so with the POTS thing, what matters to me is helping people. Now, in both ways, right, I need to monetize it because my time is worth something. My time is worth something, and I understand that as a business owner, right? And people will be like, if you want to help people, that it shouldn't matter. But no, it does matter, because you can't help people at the expense of you being broke. And if you're broke, you can't help people. If I was broke, I couldn't do this. You know what I'm saying? So so you need to be able to monetize the things that you care about so you can continue helping people or continue doing the things that you care about. What does matter to me, like superficially, or that comes with money or whatever, is time. The thing that I am trying to acquire is time. Time is the one asset that you never can get back, that you cannot buy more of, and that means the most. Dude, I'm a dad, right? My son is 6 years old. And last week, all this really hit me and lit a fire under my ass, even more than there was. My dog is dying. My dog is freaking dying, dude. He's his two back legs don't work. Eventually his front two legs aren't going to work. And it crushes me because I remember getting him as a puppy. And the same thing with my son, right? Like, I remember him being a baby and holding him for the first time and holding him in the hospital. And last week I realized, because my dog is dying and my son, I saw pictures of him when he was younger, that the one thing that I care about the most is time. And so building businesses that afford you and allow you to have more time with the people that you love and the things that you love to do is bar none the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me. So, yeah. Yeah. But the way that I want to get there is by doing things the right way. Because I've done things. I've done money grabs before. I've done that before. And to be honest with you, yeah, it's dope. You can make a sick amount of money really quick. That type of thing. Like, I've done work that has paid me like good money very quickly, but yeah, it's just not fulfilling, and you feel really crummy about it. You feel gross about it, right? And when people sign up for the training program, the training app, I feel good about it because I know people are gonna get results. I know people are going to feel better if they do the things that I tell them to do. When people sign up one-on-one training with me, whether it be in person or, in online or whatever, I feel good about that money made because I know that I'm going to be able to provide those people with something that works. I'm going to be able to provide those people with results, so yeah, dude. The thing that matters the most to me is time, and being able to buy my time back, and being able to spend time with my children and my dogs and my family. And what really I feel like I owe my family a lot. I want to be able, yeah, there's just so much, dude. There's so much. I could really just go deep. But time, dude, time. Unfortunately, that's the one thing that's going to catch up to us all, and we don't have enough of it, and it sucks. That's how life goes. That's so sweet. I'm happy to hear that. Well, it's the truth. Yeah. Right? Like, dude, check this. Like, what's the point of being rich if you're an asshole? You know? We all know like those rich people that are just assholes. That just like that I have a very close multimillionaire to me. Somebody who's like close in my network of people that is a multimillionaire and just a complete dickhead. He's a dickhead, could be a happy asshole though. Yeah, you could be. This guy's for sure not happy. His money is a way for him to be controlling of people. His money is a way for him to manipulate. And I don't think that anybody's happy if they're doing those behaviors. It's just, I don't know, different strokes for different folks, I guess. But what's the point? You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are on this constant search for success and money and stuff because they're trying to fill a void, right? They're trying to fill a void, something that they're not getting from anywhere else. And, albeit to each their own, right? Basically to each their own. And I guess to a certain extent, a lot of us who are trying to be financially successful like that are probably trying to fill some sort of void or gap as well. But I think there's different motivators for some people, and there's different, like some people just want it for the vanity. Workaholic behavior. Yeah, way worse than that. It's not even workaholic behavior. I like to work a lot. I like to, but this is something that I like find joy in. But that's because I've found work that is a part of my lifestyle. Like I love the work that I do. So it's not like workaholic behavior because I'm not like in there grinding away on stuff that I don't want to be doing, and I'm not miserable doing some stuff. Like there's some people that I'm miserable training. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude, would you just, you know what I mean? And I have to have really hard conversations sometimes with clients. Like really hard conversations. But yeah, I think that some people are just plugging away at getting rich just for the vanity of being rich and having things. And yeah, I feel like that's a sad existence. Yeah. If you're looking for maybe I'm not rich, well, I'm not rich, but maybe this is why I think this way. But I feel like if you're looking for happiness via material goods, you're never going to find it. Workaholic is like alcoholic when you use work as an unhealthy escape. Yeah, I agree with you. But I think that in life, there are ebbs and flows and yins and yangs and unbalance and balances. Like there's a period of time where you have to kind of go through that in order to build up the thing that you need to build up, right? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everybody's kind of got something like that in their life, I kind of remember the first big purchase that I ever made where I realized like, oh, money and having things is not what's going to make me happy. I'm looking like the reason why I want a lot of money is for other reasons, right? And it was, I bought my truck. I bought my F-150 Sport. It's a nice truck. It's nice. It's fast, things like that, right? It's an expensive truck. I bought it and I was so pumped about it for about 3 days. For like 3 days. And then it just became my truck, the thing that I drive. And that's when I really realized, I was like, wow, material items mean nothing, dude. Like this stuff means nothing. It was such an eye-opener for me. And I'm glad I have my truck. I love my truck. I love it. But the point is that the excitement over buying it went away within like 3 days of driving it. And that doesn't mean that I love it any less or whatever, but the initial excitement, right? Because when you buy nice things and big things, you go into it thinking that it's going to be like amazing, like this is great, it's going to fulfill me, it's going to make me feel happy for a long time. And then you realize shortly after It doesn't do any of those things. It's none of that. It's crazy. I remember I can remember so many milestones in my life too, uh, financially, that made me realize like chasing money is not going to be the thing that makes you happy. Like I can literally remember the years of going from like 20,000 a year to 30,000 a year, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70, keep going up into the six-figure mark. I can remember like being like, when I hit this, I'm going to be happier. When I hit this, things are going to get better. When I hit six figures, like this is going to, whatever. And then, it's so funny because then I opened the gym and I spent so much money, doing that, thinking that that was going to be the next step, the next thing that made me happy, blah, 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 blah. And I was having my best, like, it's like, you guys, we don't realize what kind of blessings are being bestowed upon us sometimes until we lose it, right? I was having my best financial year in a business where I was only paying $300 of rent a month. I was only paying $300 of rent a month, and I decided I need to open up a gym. I genuinely still believe that it was something that I needed to do in order to know if I wanted to do it or not. I opened up a gym. I spent tens of thousands of dollars to do this, and realized that it wasn't going to be the thing that made me happy. I sacrificed so much income to try and do this thing, to achieve a higher level of success and status, and it didn't make me any happier. It's just funny. Like when you realize that the money isn't the thing and the status isn't the thing, life changes and your perspective changes completely. And when you start getting in line with your purpose and you start getting in line with your values and ethics, and you take that serious and you align your purpose along with those things, dude, I mean, blessings just come out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. It's crazy. Because again, I can remember buying really cool stuff and being like, gosh, 3 days ago, this was awesome. Now this, whatever. I can remember making, money and then making more money and making more money, and always thinking that if I just make $10,000 more, it's going to make me feel better. If I make, 5,000 more this month, it's going to make me feel better or whatever. And it just doesn't do it. It just straight up doesn't do it. There's a point where, okay, what I'm talking about though, to be clear, is once you have enough money to make sure that you're straight, that you're good, like that all your bills are paid and stuff, like once you have all your baseline stuff, because obviously you need to have enough, like once you have baseline amount of money where everything is taken care of, then yeah, absolutely, that makes you way, way, way happier because you have this weight lifted off your shoulders. I'm talking about after that, when you start making money where it's like you don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? And then you're like, I'm just going to keep trying to make more money because I'll know what to do with it, that type of thing. If you can't pay your bills and then you're finally able to pay your bills, that changes things a lot. Because I've been there too. That changes things a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, but we call those unhealthy coping strategies. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, anyways, I have to work out. I don't feel like working out quite yet, but I have to. And my schedule is getting so much crazier now. I'm going to get so much freaking crazier. I'm excited for it. I like the craziness of like having like 10 people in at once, and I'm all over the place, and I gotta be like, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. This is the percentage of bench that you're doing today. You have to go do 10 odd sprints and whatever, stuff like that. I love that. And summer is when I'm fully in that mode. So I bet you the streams this summer are gonna get wild because I'm gonna be so high energy from training people and stuff. That's gonna be dope. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for hopping on here with me. Thank you for hanging out. I got to go work out even though I don't want to. I know it's what's good for me and I need to get it done now so I can handle other things today too. Quick question. What do you do about having too much adrenaline in your system for whatever reason? For me, excitement leaves me full of adrenaline. What do I do? I don't even know how to answer that question. I just ride the high. I love it. I've always been, in my entire life, I've always been an adrenaline junkie. I love adrenaline. I love that. Obviously, I don't like the bad anxiety feeling, but I love the feeling of adrenaline and excitement and, okay, what can I do with this energy that would be productive, right? So maybe go work out, maybe go for a walk, maybe play some guitar and sing and, stuff like that. Just like do anything that can like help me release in a good way. That's what I do. I've tried to find something productive to put it in. So that energy into. So anyway, thanks guys. We'll talk tomorrow. I'll be live again tomorrow for a while. Remember, next week starts a new schedule. So I'm going to be working at my actual business for, from 8 a.m. until probably 11 a.m. And then I'm going to be working out from 11 to, maybe 1 some days. And then I'm going to be streaming. So like 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, CST, is when I'm probably going to be going live from now on, somewhere around there next week, not this week. This week is still going to be normal time. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Next week, schedule is changing. I'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys in the next one. See you tomorrow. Go watch my video. I just dropped it. It's Steps and Pots, the secret to pot syndrome, to getting better. Clickbait. Anyway, again, thanks so much for hanging out. If you haven't already, join the training group in the description below. 2 free weeks, $50 a month after that. And talk to y'all tomorrow. I've said that 4 million times. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace out. Goodbye.